Hi all, I'm Jeff Hulett. I'm a decision confidence builder. I'm the author of the book, Making Choices, Making Money. Today, we're going to discuss what do employers think of college graduates. So the idea is, if getting a good job after you graduate college is a goal, then making your college decisions with the job goal in mind is a priority. To help implement the decision framework and make the best college decision, we suggest the app called College Xoice, which is provided with my book. So, colleges generally attract employers to recruit their soon-to-be college graduates. Employers are not always the same in their approach to college recruiting. So, for example, in a professional services firm, there is a pecking order that generally ranks these firms. The most prestigious firms, like a small boutique law firm, a consulting firm, or an investment bank. They may have a direct relationship with a particular selective college, like in the Ivy League. Larger professional services firms, on the other hand, tend to recruit much broader. While the smaller boutique firms may get the first pick, the larger firms have a distinct advantage because of the volume of college graduates they hire. So, for example, larger firms like the Big Four, which is KPMG, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Ernst & Young, hire a large number of college graduates every year. While these firms may defer the first pick to the boutique firms, they do hire some really super talented graduates. Also, from a practical standpoint, the U.S. selective colleges are just simply too small. Less than 1% of undergraduates are currently enrolled in the most selective colleges. There are not nearly enough selective college undergrads to move the needle on total employment needs for larger employers. As a former Big Four managing director, I led recruiting at a large university. This gave me deep experience in the global firm approach to professional services college recruiting. This employer's view talk is taken from my firsthand experience. The important point is, because of their size and ability to hire in large volumes, this article considers big firms as representative of the general college hiring perspective. So next, let's discuss the importance of legal and compliance. In general, all firms are very focused on complying with the Equal Employment Opportunity Act, or the EEOA, and other hiring laws. Many maintain structured processes to ensure hiring law compliance. Also, most firms are sensitive to their equal employment reputations. This is concerning hiring based on gender, race, and other legally protected classes. And I'll use that word protected classes again. Firms will often advertise their positive employment list rankings to support their equal employment narrative. Thus, firms will meet legal and reputational requirements by ensuring a fair and objective recruiting process. To this end, many firms seek objective performance criteria to support their hiring decisions. For example, criteria such as academic major and grade point average are typical applicant screening criteria for interview pool consideration. GPA is a critical component of being invited to the applicant interview pool to begin with. The firms will then follow a structured assessment process to rank order all the pool candidates. It is this downstream interview assessment where more subjective criteria may be considered to break the tie of those initially passing the recruiting screens. Based on the interview assessment, firms will make employment offers from the top of the ordered candidate pool. But here's the thing. This is a mutually competitive process. Students are competing for the best firms, and firms are competing for the best students. So, from a student standpoint, an important aspect of getting hired is to pass the initial criteria screens at the multiple firms. An expanded employment alternative set enables wider choice and the opportunity to learn which employment environment is best for them. Okay, but from a firm standpoint, many offerees will go to other firms or otherwise become unavailable for hire. Because the firms understand there is a high recruiting pool attrition rate, they aspire to keep all alternatives warm in the event there is a need to fill a vacated recruiting spot. Okay? So recruiting criteria screens serve another purpose. They are defensible from a legal standpoint. As a case in point, consider a firm that does not hire an applicant that is a member of a protected class. The fact that they filter applicants based on GPA and other objective criteria provides the firm with some legal protection. In the eyes of the law, the GPA generally is considered a fair way to differentiate recruits. This is not to suggest that new hires may not come from family and friend of firm referrals. They do sometimes. But referrals are the exception, and they generally are required to pass the same screening criteria. Think of a referral as more of a tiebreaker than a hiring guarantee. In this context, referral-based networking may not be as powerful as some may believe. Beyond legal and reputation concerns, firms generally follow a dispersed talent recruiting approach. Most large professional services firms follow the experience-based belief that strong talent exists in all colleges. That is, no individual selective college has a monopoly on talent. All colleges produce talented graduates. The challenge for the firm is to find them and recruit the talent. So as such, many large firms recruit broadly across many colleges and narrowly within those colleges. Also, the HBCUs, or historically black colleges and universities, are certainly part of the broad college recruiting approach. The firms generally manage the protected class aspects of their incoming recruiting class via their broad college approach. This way, they will have an increased opportunity to attract protected class recruits while maintaining their GPA and other objective performance criteria. Finally, this leads to the advice I generally provide high school students when making college decisions. College is not a yes or no question. It is a now or not yet determination. Go to a college where you can get a good GPA. Simply, a good GPA may be acquired if you have good study habits. If you're concerned about your study habits, then consider going to a community college or other lower cost options to provide to yourself, to prove to yourself that you possess the needed study habits. Besides community college, lower cost options may include vocational schools, the military, volunteering, or lots of others. The important point is to build good study habits via your experiences. Once you convince yourself your study habits, not yet becomes now. You are now ready for a four-year college. Think of GPA as the 3 C's employer recruiting signal. That is, your grades signal the recruiters the trinity of intellectual competence, or the ability and willingness to learn, conscientiousness, which is you're a hard worker, and collaborativeness, which means signals you're a team player. For many firms, it is this signal that helps open the door to a successful career-oriented job. Understanding how your companies think about hiring will help you make the best college decision, whether now or not yet. You've got this.